Hey, this is Nicolette Moore from NicoletteMoore.com. Do you have a vision for your future? Well, Luc Despres did, and over a decade ago, he decided he was going to have an amazing future. So join us for Interview 18, where Luc shows us how network marketing has played a vital role in becoming the man he is today. I'll see you on the other side. Hello. This is Nicolette Moore from NicoletteMoore.com, and today I'm doing my very first live interview with Luc Despres, and I'm so glad, I'm so excited to be here today and try this out. So this so happens to be the day that there's like some type of national cyber attack. So if there's technical issues, it's not my fault, I promise. But okay. So today I have Luc Despres with me, and he has been in network marketing for over a decade now. Before he got into network marketing, he was in rentals, so he did furniture rentals, appliance rentals, electronic rentals. And so he found network marketing to be an avenue for him to be able to get a car, get the dream home that he was looking for, and be able to provide for his family whenever that came around. So network marketing was like an avenue for him, and now he's, it's evolved. Now he's a coach. He does life and business coaching, and he calls himself the ultimate goal getter. So, Luc, I'd love for you to come out and kind of share a little bit more about your story. You've had quite the journey. You've, been in for a decade, and lots have happened, and you don't have a day job anymore. So I'd love to hear how the past decade has gone for you. What initially attracted you to network marketing? And how the past decade has evolved for you.
Awesome. First off, I want to say thank you for inviting me on the show here. It's really an honor to be here, and I see you rising up, and it's so cool to see you kind of flourishing, and it's exciting. So thank you. So yeah, basically, it's been quite a ride. Like most people in network marketing, I've had some major setbacks, and I may have had more than most people actually. So about a decade ago, I had just basically been exposed to network marketing, and I was quite critical and negative about it. Actually, the guy who put me with this was a member of our church, and I remember literally at that point, I said, "This is a scam. It's really stupid. You're gonna get screwed." And I actually went as far as to say that I was new to Christianity at the time as well, okay? So the whole sin versus righteous and all that stuff was really fresh in my mind. I actually said to this guy, "This is of the devil." I am not kidding you. I actually used those words. And so you probably won't get much more opposition, much more opposition than that. Now, we're at a church event. I think we were just at a sports event, doing basketball or volleyball. And I recall he drove me home. I had no car at the time. I was like 21. And he locked all his doors. So this is a good prospecting technique right here. He locked his door and he said, "Luc, you are not leaving this car until you see what I have to say." I was like, "Fine, let's go upstairs. I'll reject you and we can move on." So at the time, I was living with my mother, 21 years old. I ended up moving back to my mom's. She was living in a rundown house, but worse than that, she was living in the attic of the rundown house. I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor. I had absolutely nothing going for me. I had a part-time job doing as a dishwasher in that moment. And shortly after, I ventured in other things, but I was a dishwasher at the time and working 3 days a week. I saw the plan. And so he showed me this plan. He's like a brand new distributor. He's a month in. And he starts drawing out the circles and all that stuff. And I asked him so many questions. And I really don't understand how he answered all the questions being so new. But somehow he did. And by the end, I literally said these words: "Dude, we're going to be rich." So I'm sold at this point. I start the business. I signed up that week, and I start hustling. I attended all the, hotel meetings, did all the home meetings, and I hustled for an entire year with that company. I made 2 checks. My first check was toward the beginning. I made $7, and then toward the end of that year, I made $3. All right, so yeah, I am like on fire.
On fire.
$10 in 1 year. I was pretty devastated, actually, and I said to myself, but not with this company. And so I started to look, and I went through a bunch of Ponzi schemes, like literally some Ponzi schemes. And finally, I found another company. I signed up, and there was a system that we were using. It just was phenomenal. I loved it. In this process, I learned so much. I was with this company for 4 years, and I want you to guess how much money I made in 4 years.
At least $10.
I wish.
Oh, wow, you wish.
I literally worked this full time for 4 years. I learned a tremendous amount of knowledge and skills. I grew tremendously in these years, but I made nothing. I didn't sign up one person in that business. So finally, my cousin, he comes by and he says, "Luke, I have something to show you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, show me this." Because by this time I had gotten very skilled at analyzing MLM companies and telling them whether or not it would work. So good that I'd have people pitching me all the time on Facebook, and I would tell them, "Your company is going down within 2 years." And this is after like maybe 3 to 5 minutes looking at the overall picture. "No, man, this is the best opportunity. Best thing since sliced bread, ground floor." "No, dude, it's going down." Sure enough, 2 years later, the company's gone. And so I hadn't really mastered that craft. So I see this opportunity, and I'm trying to prove it wrong. I'm trying to just get everything that's wrong with it, and I found nothing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to join. So got started, finally had success. We had a team of about 321 people. Things were rocking, and I really lost passion for the whole thing. The culture was really not for me. It was a weight loss product, and I don't mind that, but the culture that it created, I'm a Christian, and so the culture it created was one of people who are losing weight really fast, and when that happens, they want to flaunt a lot. And so you have all these people who are flaunting these bodies and stuff, and it just wasn't my environment. There was a lot of drinking and whatnot. Threw me off. Duplication didn't quite happen the way it was supposed to either, so the team kind of started to dwindle. Yeah, I just stopped producing, and so I'm back down to 0. I'm about 7 or 8 years in at this point, and I'm thinking, what the heck am I going to do? I've been at this for a long time, and I have $0 to show for it. But again, I've grown significantly. My life has drastically changed in so many ways. So I'm sitting there at my desk, and I'm having a bit of a pity party. And I'm saying, why is this happening to me? Like, I see so many other people succeeding, making this happen. Why not me? Like, what's wrong with me? And in that moment, it was funny. I looked out from my desk, and I had a realization. I looked around. Growing up, I lived a pretty intense life. Abusive parents, or father. Parents split up when I was 9 officially. My mom was very depressed, and we were on welfare, living in the projects. I turned to drugs, alcohol. I turned to gangs. I was always in trouble. If the cops weren't chasing me, they were harassing my mom at her door. And so all these things are my background. But in that, I had 3 dreams. When I was 15, I want you to picture this. I'm 15 years old, baggy pants down past my butt, right? I'm this thug, chronic pot smoker in a gang. And I say to myself, I can't wait to have a kid one day. And when I do, that kid will have a way better life than I've ever had. That was my first ever dream, 15 years old. Number 2, I was walking down the street one day and I saw this car. The car was okay, but the color was just beautiful. It was this nice blue color. And I said, man, here's how poverty stricken I was in my mindset. If ever I have a car, not when, if ever I have a car, this is the color I want for my car. And number 3, every Christmas time we go to my uncle's house. And I just loved his house. It wasn't this like fabulous mansion, but it was decent. It was nice. It was very homey. And I loved it. And I said, if ever I have a house, this is what I want. Something like this. So this time I'm here and I'm having this huge pretty party, and I'm wondering, how the heck am I ever going to reach my dreams? I have no success in network marketing. And all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, I just had a kid 10 months ago, 12 months ago, and she has a way better life than I've ever had. And 2 years prior, I had just bought a house, and it was, I believe, if not the same, nicer than uncle's house. And the car in my driveway, without ever realizing it, was the exact same color I had dreamt of when I was a kid. So in that moment I said, I realized I'm living my childhood dream. And so at that point I looked back over the past 8 years and I said, what did I do every day that got me this if I didn't have success in my network marketing business? And so that's when I came up with my 5 steps ultimate go-getter formula that I teach as a coach. And yeah. And so then, I started to hustle with my coaching business. And I had given up on network marketing for a while. And actually it's just recently that I got started again. And I've been getting a lot of momentum because of who I've become, I guess, and what I've been able to offer in my coaching business. I've really been able to build a brand that would attract a lot of business to me. And so at this point, I'm really attracting a lot of quality people, and it's just an amazing journey. And I'm just excited for the future. I have no idea. I guess I have an idea as to where I want to go, but I don't limit myself to that, because who knows where it's coming from, and I'll accept everything that comes to me. It's positive. So yeah, that's basically a nutshell.
Wow. That's I've got a lot of notes. I don't even know where to start. That's amazing. That's a really awesome story. What I take away from that is vision. Having that vision. You started, you've had all these challenges and obstacles in your life, and you had this vision as a teenager, a punk thug who, you were lost, you were hurting, and you wanted a better life, but you didn't believe. You had such limiting belief that you didn't know that it was going to happen for you. But you still had these seeds planted. I want this house. I want this color car. I want a child. And, whenever we think about those things, they happen. I always wanted to be married by the time I was 25. And I met my husband about 2 months before I turned 25, and we got married the day before.
Nice.
And it wasn't even a conscious thing. It's just, it happened that way. And I thought about it later, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted it so badly. It just kind of manifested really quickly for me. So, things happen like that. It's amazing. So you've been through so many trials, and it seems like network marketing keeps coming and is a play in your life. And I think that there's oftentimes we feel like success is monetary. We feel like we need to have a dollar sign, a number in our bank account to reflect our progress. But you obviously had success from the beginning, because you had this belief in this industry that actually fueled you for many, many years. And so you had all this personal development. You achieved your car, your house, your child. So it's like, how do we measure success? What is it that we look at that says, oh, yes, I am successful? Because you obviously had the success before you had the money coming in.
Right.
And so that's, you've got a very cool story. I love it. We do have a few people who have joined us, and it seems like they've heard the story as well, but they love it. And it's a good story. That's the kind of story that movies are made out of. Books are made out of, really. And to go from, and also it's really inspiring that you've gone from such a kind of a dark place, a place where you feel like there's no hope, living in the projects, just not having a whole lot of inspiration or belief that you can get out of it, and look at where you are now.
Yeah.
So that's the proof in the pudding for vision, belief, just perseverance, doing those daily things, putting in the effort, just continuing to push towards that goal, you are proof that anybody can accomplish that. So that's incredible. Thank you for sharing your story. I mean, that touches my heart deeply. And I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
So, okay, so now where do we go? Goodness gracious. So, you know, you've already, you were negative about network marketing. You thought it was of the devil.
Yeah.
That quickly changed to being, this is how I'm going to make, you know, millions of dollars. How I'm going to be rich. And now you are rich with it. Not only, you know, you've got cash flow coming in, but now your heart is rich.
Right.
The amount that you're pouring into other people just makes you outrageously wealthy, you know. To me, that's where true wealth comes from.
I absolutely agree with that.
So I'd like to talk to you about the coaching aspect of it, you know, like how the coaching plays into network marketing. You said that you had kind of backed off from the industry and then you've come back, and now you're not only helping people with their life, but you're helping them with their business. And apparently in network marketing, there's something viable coming out of that with network marketing. And I'm curious, are you doing this mostly online? How is your coaching? Is it a physical, physical presence, or is it coaching over the phone, over the internet, face-to-face, kind of like what we're doing? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so basically like this. I do it through the internet. I don't do anything in person. I mean, unless someone in my local market actually like requests that and says this is exactly what I want, and I want to do this, and sure, why not? But yeah, this is what we do. But more than that is what I do on a daily basis for people who are not my clients as well, right? I don't see, how can I say it? I don't increase my impact to build my business. I build my business to increase my impact. And so for me, it's focused impact first, systematic wealth second, and then ultimate freedom third. That's my process. And so if I'm not every day helping someone be better, do better, and giving them hope and freedom, then I've failed that day, right? I know that value comes as you give value. So I don't have to be concerned about where the money is coming from. All I got to do is make sure that I'm bringing massive value every single day, and that money shows up. As long as I have a vehicle and an avenue for them to invest in, and even those things that they invest in are very impactful. With network marketing, for example, someone invests in that, I make money, but then I'm helping them again to increase their income and their impact. And so it's just a continuous thing. So in terms of where coaching fits with network marketing is coaching. I mean, if you're building a team, like, you are a coach. I don't care what you say. You have a responsibility to help that person succeed in some way, shape, or form. Whether that's you personally coaching them because you have all the skills and knowledge and whatever, or leading them to someone who can, you're responsible to help that person succeed. And if you don't believe that, then you're probably not going to have long-term success. So really, I mean, in terms of coaching, that's what you do in network marketing. That's the basis of it. Personal development, upline support, team support, that's all coaching. And so
yeah, I think so many people that, if they're not in the industry, they don't really understand that. But there's a huge amount of people that transition to that. It evolves into, okay, well, I'm just initially I had that self-motivation like you had. You saw it, you saw the opportunity, like, oh, I'm going to get rich. But then over time you realize, hey, it's about serving others. And now you see that they play hand in hand. And that's the coolest thing about network marketing, is that the industry is meant for personal development, for making somebody's life better, for empowering people to be able to take their future in their hands. And you get to play the role of a guidance, as somebody guiding that person into that path. And that's just wonderful, because not only are you helping them find empowerment within themselves, but you're also helping them find financial freedom and showing them that you have a roadmap. That's incredible, so somebody can take a roadmap, and that makes it that much easier to be able to get into prosperity and then go out and help others. So I'm trying to think. There's so many things I wanted to talk about. Okay, one thing I want to share with the audience that I think is so powerful that you talked about earlier is you said, you know, you discovered this coaching gift, and you've been gifting people with coaching. And now you realize you're starting to attract people to you because you are providing value. You're providing hope, inspiration. You're going out every day, making lives better, and now you're attracting them to you. I'd like for you to share the difference that you see between doing it that way versus belly to belly, calling warm market, or calling cold leads, you know, buying leads and calling them up. Hey, you want to join my opportunity? Like, what do you see as the difference between your method attracting people to you and kind of what your upline generally teaches you to do?
Right. Yeah. It changes everything. Because, like, first off, I'm not big on like mass marketing. For me personally, I find that very impersonal. And like I want to know my team. I mean, I'm talking about my personals, okay? I want to know all my team, but my personals, I really feel that I should have.
Uh-oh. I don't know if it's a cyber attack or what. All right, we have a few people on here. Luke is frozen. Nathan, Heidi, are y'all with us? You can put in a yes in there. I'll know that. Okay, I
in
hear
this way.
you. You froze up a little bit.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Because you actually broke out completely. I couldn't see you anymore or hear you. I'm wondering if
the cyber attacks.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what they last heard.
Okay, Nathan says he's still here. Okay, so maybe starting over because you kind of like froze up right away.
All right. So yeah, so basically, I'm not very big on the mass marketing because I find it very impersonal. For my personals, I really believe that knowing them personally, right? They're personals. That's a key word there. Knowing them personally and connecting them, like, I guess, with them deeply, not only helps them succeed in a massive way, but it also increases retention, right? If you don't have that deep, abiding connection with your people, then nothing is stopping them from leaving. If you do have that deep, abiding connection, I've seen people go through some crazy stuff in network marketing and stick around just because they believed in their leader, right? Just because they know, like, and trust their leader. And so if you don't have that with your team, chances are the moment your company, right, changes a product or pricing or something in the comp plan or whatever, you're going to lose a whole bunch of people, right? But if you have a connection with your team in a more positive, impactful, deep way, and you teach your team to do the same thing, you have links that are holding everyone together. And so it's just more effective. In terms of attraction versus just calling everyone that you know and saying, hey, now here's the thing. In the beginning, it's going to be difficult to use attraction marketing because most people who come in are not exposed to years of personal development, right? They're stuck in the employee mindset. They haven't done much in terms of business. And so it's typically hard for brand new people to go out and start making videos that they believe are valuable. That being said, if you have leaders that are attracting an audience, just like when when you have these famous people who have groupies, right? So just by the association, those groupies gain credibility, right? And so in the same way, I'm not calling anyone groupies. It's just the best way I guess I can explain it. But by associating with the leaders of the team closely and then using them as leverage, you can really go a long way. And so for me personally, Like right now, every single day, Monday to Friday, I do a live broadcast for my, for my viewers, for my profile, and I get people every day on there, and those are all videos that can be used by my team to bring value. I have a Facebook community, a private community that's free to join. Not everyone qualifies. We look for a certain type of people, but anyone who comes in there will receive massive value. They're part of a nice community. They're being uplifted. We do a live broadcast in the group every Tuesday night to bring massive value and to just break people through. And so that does, I guess, a few things. It brings people together in a unified effort to help each other out. It helps them. So just think about this. You bring someone into the business atmosphere. You want to share your business with them, but they don't have the right mindset, right? If you take them into the industry now, chances are they're not going to do very well. They might complain a lot, right? They may not want to stay. But if you bring them into an environment where they're being built up, their confidence is going up, they're breaking through in a lot of mindset issues that they're having, before bringing them into your business, they are now ready. I call it grooming them for success, right? So you're grooming your prospects for success. And this is blessing them, but it's also preparing them to team up with you and just hit it as fast as possible. And that builds their value so that they can apply the attraction marketing formula. But yeah, I got sick of chasing people around. When it comes down to it, my goodness, that is tiring. It's disheartening. And there's a better way, right? And so attraction marketing has been a huge blessing. And you don't have to know it all to be attractive in the market. You don't have to create elaborate websites and videos. But if you're actually loving people where they're at, you're not judging them, you're not labeling them, but you're seeing, okay, what can I do for this person right now? Right? What can I do for them right now? If you're on chat, what can I do for this person that would help them in any way possible? You do that consistently, you will gather quite a crowd because no one's doing that. Right? In the real world, outside of network marketing, no one's doing that. And so they will crave your attention. They will crave to be around you because you're helping them, you're listening to them. There's no judgment, they're feeling comfortable. And that will actually bring them into your environment and make it 10 times, 100 times easier to introduce them to something within the days, the weeks, the months, whatever.
I think what you're saying is so elemental, and I think that anybody who hears those words really needs to take it to heart, because what you're saying is truth. You know, people want to be cared about, and in this day and age, even though we have social media and it's so easy to connect with people, people are more disconnected than ever. You know, and it's kind of like the Wall-E world. You know, you can have two people in the same room texting each other instead of just talking.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And I mean, they're legitimately like, that's how they prefer to communicate. And that's crazy. And so when we, really show genuine care for another human being and say, instead of being self-motivated and say, how can this person give me money? But say, how can I help you? What can I offer you that's going to be a blessing to you? Things change so much. And that's, one of the coolest things is when you have somebody come to you and say, hey, I want to work with you because I see this in you. I want to work with you. That the dynamic is totally different. It's so much more enjoyable. You don't feel icky. You don't feel like you have to pressure anybody, or you don't feel weird asking, hey, do you want to work with me? Do you want to look at my opportunity? It's more like, yeah, I'd love to, let's see what we can do together. It's right. Totally different. And so the power of what you're talking about is so key. And it's exactly what you said, leading with value. Where do you get that value? There's a lot of ways to get value. And it's all about plugging into a leader like you who can show you, where can I get this value and how can I give that value out? So that is awesome. So like, what has been, I want to say the best piece of advice you've had, but you've had, 10 years of dealing with this. But do you have something that has just been your rock through the decade of kind of highs and lows that has gotten you through all of the struggles and challenges?
That's a good question. I think that aspect of it was not voluntary. something just took hold of me and it just won't let go. It just, it's like I felt for a long time that I was destined for something more, that I was meant to do something greater than what I was doing. And it just doesn't let go. No matter how much I tried to suppress that, it just kept coming and nagging at me and saying, Luke, you can do better. Luke, you have so much more to offer, you know, keep going, keep pushing. Something's going to happen, right? And so in terms of what kept me going, that's really what it is. It's just that feeling, that grip on my heart that just wouldn't let go, that told me you have so much work to do and there's so many lives that need to be blessed by you. You can't quit. If you quit, these people will never hear what you have to say. So I think that'd be number one. In terms of the most important thing I could share in terms of what we should do, first things first is work like crazy on your mindset, right? The mindset, I know it sounds cliche, but it's definitely true. Man, if you don't mind, I'm gonna share a quick analogy. I love using analogies. So if you were to take like a mason jar or a jar, okay, and you took a flea, I know it sounds funny. You take a flea and you drop it in that mason jar. Fleas love to jump, right? So it's gonna jump until it jumps out of that jar. Now put the same flea in, put the cover on. It's gonna jump with the same intensity, same motivation, just as fired up, and it'll hit the lid over and over again. Let that happen for a while. What happens is take off the lid, and with the same intensity, same motivation, they're still fired up, they're gonna jump, but they'll keep hitting where the lid used to be, but it's not there anymore, okay? And so growing up, we're exposed to a lot of negative people who, some of them are very well-meaning, but they have that lid from their childhood, right? And so we can be mad at them because they've had their experience, they've had their limits placed on them. And so it's very important to replace this type of like negative feeling towards these people and just replace that with compassion, because we have no idea what they've been through, how they perceive the world. But well-meaning people and not so well-meaning people have told you in your life that you're not good enough, you can't do this, right? Listen to your authorities, don't speak up. Like the school system is good for that. Sit down, shut up, don't move, do what you're told. And if you act up too much, we'll pump you full of pills, right? And so we're groomed for failure from the very start, by the school system, by parents, by friends and colleagues, whoever. And we're told all these things, and those are placing these lids on our heads, and it's forced upon us. As we grow older as adults, the lid comes off, but we're still hitting the same imaginary lid that was there before. And so you'll see a lot of us where we're, especially in network marketing, but in life in general, we are striving so hard, we're pushing, and we get to a certain level and we keep dropping. Every time we hit that level, we keep dropping, right? Just before success, it's like, boom, done. And you try again, and you're like, why am I not going past this point? Well, that's why. It's because that imaginary lid is still there. And so the key thing to do is to get rid of that lid, right? That's not even there, but get rid of that lid. And the only way to do that is to start working on your mindset. There's something that I teach in the Ultimate Go-Getter Formula. In step one, because it's so crucial, this is the first step that you need. I call it the bear equation. It's B plus E plus A equals R, which means belief plus emotion plus action equals result. So what happens is if we have a negative thought or belief, it generates some kind of a negative emotion in our bodies, right? And so if you think of something that happened in your life that was negative, it's just a thought, it's not actually happening, your body will react in the same way as though it's happening. And what happens is our actions are dictated by the emotional state that we're in. So if we're happy, we act happy. If we're sad, we act sad. If we're angry, we act angry. And so we act out of emotion. And the actions that we perform, that's what generates the results that we have. And so you can rightfully say that by shifting your deeply rooted beliefs, you will change the results, because it all trickles down. And so that would be the number one thing that anyone here should get, from this is to really work hard to shift your negative limiting beliefs to positive empowering ones.
Are you familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Possibly. I'm better with faces than with names.
Okay. So Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about quantum, the quantum level, and everything that you're saying is essentially just like right out of his mouth. You know, I've heard him say the same thing, and he talks about. I was in a session with him in Austin a few months ago, and he was talking about the emotional state. You know, you smell a smell and it'll bring you right back to kindergarten. That happens to me all the time. I smell and I'm like, oh my gosh, that smells like kindergarten. Or, or my grandmother's house growing up or whatever. And you're so easily brought back to that state. You have a trauma, an emotional trauma as a child, and something triggers it and you immediately go back to that state. Well, what if you're able to get into the state of your future? Instead, now you think, okay, what would it feel like to have that house of my dreams? What would it feel like to be that philanthropist that's going out and changing the world? What would that feel like? And focus on those feelings, and then you start to rewire your brain. And so after focusing on that after a long enough time, you're no longer even tied to those emotions of your past, because your brain has been rewired to live and walk into that future. So what you're saying is, just spot on, and it's so powerful what our brains can do for us when we just allow ourselves to work on it. It takes work, because we are today a combination of everything we've been through in our past. But today we can make that decision. I'm going to walk out to my future instead of continuing to live in my past emotional states. So if you had to, so just to kind of keep on track with my questions here, we have about 20 minutes left in our hour.
I told you it was fast.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm going to kind of put these questions aside because I'm just so curious about everything that you've been through. And I want to talk about reciprocity, because we talked about attracting people to you. We talked about your coaching, about how powerful that coaching has been to attract people to you. And now you're building a successful network marketing portion out of that that's like going hand in hand right now with you. So I'm curious if you could elaborate on what reciprocities looked like for you. So you're providing value, and now you're having people come into your life. What initially got you into that groove? Was it just you just decided to start loving people and pouring into them? Or did somebody give you that idea? Or, how has that evolved from just wanting to build your network marketing company? I know we've touched on it, but I just like a little bit of elaboration into what made you think to do that?
Well, now, I guess one thing that you have to understand about me is I very much act upon intuition first and foremost. So a lot of my actions are not always guided by what's going on outside, but what's going on inside. I really I'm very spiritual in nature. I really believe that God can speak to us on a personal level and guide us. And so I use that every single day in all my interactions. Like, I literally pray for my followers because I want them to succeed so bad. Yesterday, I remember Wednesday I was here with my mom and my wife, and it just hit me. I don't know what I was doing, but I realized that I see my followers as though they were my children. In the same way that I want to see my kids succeed so bad, and I'll do anything in my power to see that happen, I feel the exact same way towards my followers. But it wasn't always that way. This year was my toughest year. I actually went through a series of events in my life that I felt was it nearly killed me. Literally, I had this amazing job. I was on my way to making six figures. Things were going incredible. the drama there was pretty intense, but I was doing great. And suddenly, because of a lot of stuff that was going on there, I was fired on the spot. I was very confused. It caught me off guard. I did not see it coming. I was working there every day, big smile on my face, doing my job, and I was fired for a weird reason. And so I got fired from my job, and then shortly after, I had an opportunity to get a really good deal on my house, where it would have allowed me to get rid of a lot of debt, and lower a lot of payments and still not lose any. Anyways, it was a huge opportunity for a deal. I lost that because I lost my job, and then shortly after that, about a week after, I think, my best friend of 17 years passed away suddenly. He was 36 years old. That happened all in one shot. One or the other would have been fine. I could have dealt with that, but all in one shot, it brought me down into a huge, massive breakdown, to where I got so sick mentally and physically that I thought I was gonna die. And I don't like doctors, and so even in that state, I didn't go to the doctor at all. I didn't go to the hospital. I just dealt with it. I use a technique that I actually, I guess, offer in some of my coaching. I call it my emotional freedom sessions, and it's a technique that I use to clear a lot of the emotional trauma. And so what I've done in that state was, first off, I went to God first and foremost and tried to deepen my relationship with him even more. I studied the scriptures, right? But I used this technique every single morning, and I just tried my best to stay positive about it. Took a while, but I got out of it, and I ended up getting to be better than ever. And in that moment, I really felt so inspired that I needed to just do this. To stop making excuses, to stop hiding behind that mask, to stop hiding myself, because that's what I was doing. Like, I wasn't being me. I was so afraid to show who I really was, even though there wasn't anything really that bad about me. Like, I loved people. I wasn't doing anything too, crazy horrible. For some reason, I just held back all the time. And so as soon as I stepped out of my way and just allowed myself to be me, that's when everything shifted. It's when I just said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm taking off the mask, and everyone who embraces me for who I am are supposed to be there, and those who don't aren't ready for me. And that's okay. When they are, I'll invite them in with open arms. And that's really the shift that happened, is I just realized that I was wearing a mask, and I was time to let go.
I think that's wonderful. I mean, it makes you vulnerable. That's what it is. We're afraid to be vulnerable with people, especially strangers, especially the world. But if you ever watch any of my videos, you'll see my outro. I've got a little dance in it. A lot of my videos, I incorporate like stupid, silly moves. And just, really what kind of inspired me for that was, I just felt like my whole life, I've always tried to be this proper, prim little girl. But really, I'm like a fun, lighthearted person, and I like to dance, and I like to be goofy. And so I'm like, you know what? The people that are going to see that and appreciate it are the kind of people that I want to work with. And, so it's okay to be, not everybody's going to always want to work with you, and that's okay. You want to work with the people that you want to work with and that want to work with you. There's a lady named Diane Hockman. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Have you? Okay. Yeah. She says, I'm looking for people who are looking for me. And so it's all about, just finding those people that you can connect with and that you can touch, because like you said, you want to be personal with your personals. You want to know them. You want to have relationships with them. And that's the best way to keep people on your team, but also it's the best way to pour into somebody's life, is by just having those connections and just showing you are a leader. You're going to show up for them, and you're going to be there for them. You're going to support them and believe in them when they can't believe in themselves, and really and truly show that.
Yeah.
So Nathan and Heidi they're active in the chat right now. Let me see who else is here.
My biggest fans.
We have Alan Fontaine. We've got Nathan Lazote. We've got Heidi Nuttall. I hope I didn't butcher that. And then we have Wendy Plaster all in the chat. So y'all, we're going to be wrapping up soon. If y'all have any questions you'd like to ask Luke while we're going, definitely put the questions in right now. Maybe we can hit one question each if y'all want to ask him anything. But I do want to ask you right now, as we're kind of wrapping up. Sorry, I know I butcher your name, Nathan. I say Lizotte, he says Lizotte. I'm sorry. I have a friend whose name is Lizette, and I always want to say Lizette. It's like, that's not good. Okay, so if you had to, so you've had a decade worth of experience with everything that you've been through with network marketing. If you start over today, knowing everything that you know now, what would you do differently?
Well, for me, I wouldn't change a single thing because it makes me who I am today. But for someone else coming in, again, just I'd say get clear on your vision. Right? Get clear on your vision is number one. But the thing is, with a vision, it's hard to create a good enough vision with limited mindset, right? Because you're limited in how big you can dream. And so I say vision is the most important thing, but I don't believe it's the first step. I think the first step is to get rid of some of those limiting beliefs, and then you can dream big enough to stay motivated. Because until you can dream big enough to really inspire you, right? I ask people about their dreams every single day, every day as a coach, and I don't think anybody knows, right? And even once it comes out, it's very small. Like it's not even like it's not motivating, and you can tell that they're not motivated by it. They're just like throwing out an answer just for the sake of answering. So that will not suffice in network marketing, right? It has to be deeper. It has to be more profound. It has to be something that moves you literally into tears, because vision without emotion is nothing. But vision backed by emotion is the key to manifestation, right? And so unless you want to manifest, like, I guess, yeah, if you want to manifest, it has to be positively emotional. Otherwise it's useless.
So I think that, you know, I don't want to, I'm not discrediting what you say, because I think what you say is so powerful. What you're saying is so true. But it can be in stages, because I think sometimes, like you said, right now where you're at, you don't want to limit yourself to what your future can hold. But I know a gentleman who he's running a multi-million-dollar company right now. When he got started, he had zero faith in himself, but he had this check that he wrote out to himself for, I think, $50,000. And he just carried it in his little shirt pocket or his pants. And everywhere he went, if he started feeling doubtful or bad or whatever, he would just pull out this check and look at it and say, $50,000. I believe I'm going to get $50,000. And then, you know, now he's making millions and millions of dollars every year, making a massive amount of impact. And so it's just, it's sometimes people have to go in stages, but I think that's why coaching is so important, because if somebody can come to you and just say, hey, this is my vision and this is where I'm at, help me get past it. And I just have to say that the flea analogy really puts a whole nother spin or angle on limiting beliefs. I just have to say that. I was thinking about that earlier. It's such a good picture of that. You know, what does limiting beliefs mean? Well, the flea. Think about the flea. All right. So if somebody came to you and said, hey, I'm considering joining network marketing, what advice would you tell them, you know, aside from everything that we've heard already, what would you tell them to kind of really consider if that is the path for them or not?
I guess that's a good question. So they're considering network marketing. What's the best thing? I guess me in my daily interaction with people, and when I guess just recently, as I've been inviting people into my business environment, it's really just a matter of I'm discovering their goals. I'm trying to see where they're at. I'm trying to get to know them a bit. And I think just aligning with a company that you can feel good about is pretty crucial. But also the people that you're signing up with are very important, right? If you don't connect with these people, if you don't feel confident that they can lead and guide you, it's going to be hard to connect with them. It's going to be hard to listen to their feedback and take it and actually use it. I find, see, if you don't trust someone, all of a sudden you become a lot less coachable, right? But if you admire someone, you become a lot more coachable. This is not to say that someone who is not coachable will be coachable if they admire someone, but the chances are much higher if you admire them than if you don't. So aligning with someone who you believe in, who you trust, and who you know can actually get you there, or at least help support you in that, is really important. So your upline. But I mean, it goes deeper than that. My perspective of what you need is different than most people, just because of, like, I analyze the company like crazy. Like, I analyze the compensation plan, the leadership team, the system, the product, the pricing. Like, I analyze every single detail. I even go through the policies and procedures because there's a lot of gotcha clauses in there where you can get screwed later on. And so I look at all of that just to ensure that not only myself, right? When I looked at this company that I'm with now, it wasn't like, is this good for me? This was like, I want to analyze this really well because I want to make sure that who I'm bringing in is good, right? They're taken care of. This works for them. And if you do that, if you're thinking of it as this will work for my team or this won't work for my team, that will make a big difference because now you're more critical about it. But don't be so critical that you pass up a good opportunity. I'm not sure what else to say. I don't really talk too much about the company. I talk about the people. I build them up. I help them to see their own value, and then I share a link. They watch the video. The video explains everything, and then they're in. So I mean, I focus more on building people up and building my business. And so as I do that, then they build the business. That's pretty much right the process.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else to say.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was just curious to see if you had any additional, because we've already kind of touched on it a lot throughout the talk, but just curious if you had any last final pointers on that. I just say, if you're not in the market for helping people, if you don't have a heart to serve other people, it's probably best for you to stay away, at least until you get there.
Absolutely.
So I just want to share with you a few things, guys. Luke can't really see the chat, but I do want to tell you, Luke, that Nathan says that everything that you do aligns greatly with him. And he's excited about his vision of the future. And Heidi says that she's going to write out her check right now. Heidi, don't write it for 50,000, girl. Write it for like 10 bazillion, okay? 10 million plus like a country in Africa, okay? You want to like own it, okay? Have a huge vision. Have something so big that it makes you cry.
Exactly.
So, all right, Luke, so where can people find you that are watching this interview later? Where is the best place for them to find you online?
Yeah, so best place would be on Facebook because then we can actually connect. If I send you to a website, then we can't talk. So it's just facebook.com/Coach Luke. That's the best place to get me. And if you want access to my website, you can go to lucedepres.com. Okay. And for anyone who really wants the support and they want to move forward, I absolutely am here to help. No one should ever have to feel alone, and so I'm here to help any way I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Luke. You're incredible. Your story's awesome. I'm totally honored that you spent some time with us today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. We're gonna definitely be talking in the future, and I'm excited to just watch you grow and watch your fan base grow and see the impact that you make.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nicolette.
Yes. Have a great day. Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye.
NicoletteMoore.com. Yeah. Look. You know she got you, yeah, when it comes to the lead, she gon' lead you straight to the lead generation. It's what it is all about, recruiting all the prospects, yeah, that's what it's shot. She help you with the coaching, you know that she give you the potion, so you could go and move it through the ocean. Cause she there for you, she really cares, she wanna help you grow, that's why she there. So if you wanna get more, you wanna see this what's in store, NicoletteMoore.com, get it y'all.